free speech goes on. So it turns out that your administrators are a bunch of hacks. Pathetic crybaby wusses who only care about the melting snowflakes. You didn't even have balls to show up, by the way. You got 35 people, 35 security people for little old me. No, not even any protesters, just for me because of my jujitsu skills and my massive 5'9", 165 Jewish frame. Okay, so I want to start. I come bearing gifts, particularly for the social justice warriors. So I keep hearing that you fellas, that you party people, that you want to, you're wearing around these safety pins. So I brought a whole pack of safety pins just for you. And then to accompany those, I brought the diapers you ought to be wearing. So you can pin that up. You self-indulgent, pathetic children who can't handle anybody who has an opposing point of view. Yeah, you're real strong. You're real tough. So strong and so tough, you have to stand behind the security and the police officers that you're bashing every single day. I promise you, in the privacy of their own homes, every member of that security team and every member of the police force is in agreement with me, not the people who they're protecting from my supposed free speech threat. Okay, now quick note about all the protests that are taking place across the country, just as a preliminary. A lot of protests taking place about Donald Trump. These people are idiots, okay? I didn't vote for Trump for reasons both moral and political, but you can keep whining about reality like privileged snowflakes, but you're going to melt in the sun of the real world. Donald Trump does not give two shits about what you think. He is going to bathe in your salty tears. Okay, now, on to more important matters. Today we're going to take apart three terms. We're going to do it really quickly because now we've been time compressed, and I want to make sure that Christina was kind enough to cede the podium to me in this ridiculous situation. I want to make sure that Christina has the capacity and the time to speak. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about social justice, white privilege, and safe spaces. Okay, so first of all, social justice. So back in May, Milo spoke at this university, and the SJWs shut down his event by storming the stage and screaming obscenities and threatening violence. And the Reverend Dennis Holtschneider sent a letter to the students the following day that said universities welcome speakers and give their ideas a respectful hearing, and then respond with additional speech countering the ideas. This, of course, opened the floodgates. One prominent law professor wrote that the president had betrayed marginalized students, and within minutes, the guy was basically fired for not having issued an apology abject enough for having someone who disagreed. As y'all know, I'm not a Milo fan, but the fact is, free speech is free speech, and this is ridiculous. Tonight, as we just saw, the administration announced that they would be willing to arrest me if I took 2 steps forward, not even to speak. If I was even in the audience for Christina's speech, they would arrest me. This is not America. This is Soviet-style bullshit. You don't get to do this in America. Now, this isn't justice, of course, because justice means that your individual actions have individual consequences. This is social justice. Social justice, by the way, is an oxymoron, and it is for morons. Social justice is the idea. Social justice is the idea that if you are guilty, you might still be treated as innocent because of your race. That if you do something wrong in life, we can excuse that depending on your color or your sex or your sexual orientation. Social justice says that your group identity relieves you of individual responsibility. And hardcore leftists like to call themselves social justice warriors because they think that individual justice, that being treated decently as an individual, treating others decently as an individual, that is racist, sexist, bigoted, homophobic. They think that we should be held responsible not for our actions, but for the group to which we belong. Now, in normal parlance, we call this racist. In normal parlance, we call this sexist, treating people not based on who they are as individuals and what they do, but based on their identity. Race doesn't mean anything. Sex doesn't mean anything when it comes to whether you're a good person or a bad person. But social justice warriors, they say that that standard is just too terrible. It's just too insulting. Social groups must be treated as superior to individuals. Okay, now, the problem with this, of course, is that it's racist. But the question is why the left believes in this sort of stuff. Why does the left believe in what is something that is inherently unfair, something that is inherently racist and sexist and bigoted? Why? And the answer is because the left believes that every person in the world should finish up in the same place. They believe in equal outcomes. They believe that no matter how you're treated, no matter what your upbringing, no matter how you act, everybody should end up in the same place. So if you have two people in a room, one rich, one poor, the rich person must have stolen from the poor person because equality of outcome has not been achieved. And the same thing holds true for groups. If you have a group of black people and a group of white people, then equality has not been achieved unless the black people and the white people are of equal status economically, of equal status in society. Equality of outcome is the only thing that matters. And the problem is that individual justice means that some people are not going to finish in the same place as others. Some people are going to take actions that are not beneficial. Some people are going to do stupid things. Some people are going to do smart things. So how does the left solve that conundrum of individual justice? How do they solve the basic truth? How do they make way for the basic truth that some people do smart things and some people do stupid things, and that's what really causes inequality in a free country? They say the real reason that some people underachieve is, of course, because of white privilege. Right? Social justice warriors think the only thing that matters in the world is white privilege. It's a bunch of white evil people, and those white evil people are going to take advantage of you. The system was built by all these white evil people for the benefit of their own kind. That's the basic idea here. White privilege is inherent in everything. We have to tear down white privilege. And this is a very seductive idea, of course. The campus left gives people a feeling of virtue. It makes them feel virtuous by counting them members of victimized identity groups. So if you don't do well in life, then it's not because you made bad choices. It's not because even of your individual circumstance. It's because America as a country has put you down because you are not one of these privileged white males. Which means the bad guys in this whole narrative are, of course, the privileged white males, right? The white, heterosexual, cisgender males. We are the bad guys. We are the villains here. Now, the good news for the white, heterosexual, cisgender males is there's an easy way to get out of this. And that is to just repent. Just admit that everything you did in your life, everything the founders did, everything that all the white people did ever, all of that was designed so that you could benefit now. And all of your successes and your parents' successes, those weren't due to great decisions. And people's non-success isn't based on bad decisions. All of this is just based on you, and if you just repent and admit that you've never done anything good in your life and that the system is built for your benefit, then they say you're an okay person, which is just wonderful.